y'all, it's Charity, and in our last video we covered getting the dimensions for your blanks and things of that nature. And this is kind of my layout of the blanks that I just recently got. I guess I can take you through those, but the green one is the flask, which we worked on and measured together. And the way you do your let me get my menu together, my tools and such. um Simply like with something like a flask or something like that, and then like tumblers and things like that, the shape you're going to be working with is a rectangle. So you're just going to grab your rectangle tool, and me, sometimes I just pop anything there and let it rock, and then I come up to the top and change my inches. I changed this green because I think I tried to record this before but did not, but I just want it to be obvious what I'm talking about. And so here, so if it was, I think it was about, the width was 8. So I think I was doing 8.5 or something like that. And it was like 5.25. It doesn't matter what I'm saying as far as that goes, because you're going to input your actual measurements. This is just me going off the top of my head. And it says rectangle, but I'm just actually going to delete this and work with the one that I know is the correct dimensions and stuff. And yeah, so I'm gonna, let me see. Yeah, so I did turn this into a smart object. I don't want to get too deep into that, but basically from this point with your flask, this is when you start to insert your media and start to actually design, right? So let's try to find a background. Let's find some type of background. It takes me forever no, like, it's not what I meant to do. It takes me forever to think of what exactly I want to put on a, I'm going to use leopard about what I want to actually put on the tumbler. So I have it in here, and because I was just on my flask, it's going to insert your image on top of it, which is what we want to do. And I'm going to use a clipping mask for this, and for the design of the tumbler, which I'll cover at a later time. I used a smart object. So instead of that, I'm going to use a clipping mask. So this is basically our flask right here. And I'll just keep going. I'm going to bring text from over here. I'm going to lock that in, make sure it's good to go. Okay. I think because I have a lot of extra little projects and stuff going on. So if ever you're looking for something like I am, you're going to, hold on. It's got me here. Let's click off of that. Okay, moving on. So you're going to right click, and the misses is what I'm looking for. It's when you right click, because there's so many layers and things like that. If you right click, you're going to see everything that's pretty much under your cursor. So I was looking for the Miss Harris. I couldn't find it on here. I'm going to move it on top of this, okay? And with it being selected, I can bring it over to where I want to. I really don't like that color. I'm into more of the pinks and blues, if you cannot tell. So I'm gonna just do something really quick. I'm gonna take the size down so we can actually check and see if our method, which I know it is, I'm ready to make a tumbler. I'm ready to make a flask. I'm ready to do all of the oven stuff for sublimation. So flask, I'm gonna go with the pray with me, don't play with me. Okay, I'm gonna take this up. Actually, and also guys, you have to keep in mind, I'm gonna make this a little bigger. have to keep in mind what you're using. So let me make this bigger and I'll better explain that. This right here, y'all, is a hot mess right now, but it will be something that y'all are going to want to get into a little later. I'm not worried about that, so act like you don't see it. Whoops, 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 whoops. Take it up. So yeah, let's just focus in on this. And what I'm saying also in relation to your templates, this is pretty much okay. So if you remember how we did our flash, there was pretty much one front and one back, broke up into. Hang on, I don't know if that makes sense. Okay, so for example, I'm gonna go with probably okay, like this is good. And this is probably all of the front of the flask. So you can check and verify using your same method that we did to get the measurements. Just see what the front part is. And if you figure that out, then that will just be what you put in here for that little panel. You could do the square. You don't have to do the height because the height is not changing. It's the same thing. So just about positioning it. Whatever you decide for your dimensions, that will be here, and you would just make sure it's in the middle to be lined up. So this extra stuff is probably not going to be visible. That's right under it. I'm going to put this on top just to make it make sense. This is probably the area that you have to work with for a front. Just like a chip bag. If you've seen chip bags, if you have my template, it's the same concept. Like one part is going to be the front, which is typically your middle. I don't know how. Well, that's how I would do it. And just say that. And actually, okay, yeah, I don't want to put anything. I don't know what to put. Okay, so I'm gonna take a second because I don't want to waste your time, but this is essentially what you start doing to your template after you have got your measurements. You're gonna come in, make a rectangle to give you your full length image, basically, right? And then if you have a front panel or pieces that you want to show, you're gonna get the measurements of about what you'll see. Now, I didn't do that for my Tumblr. I'm gonna go to my Tumblr section. I didn't do that for this, but I know that my image is something that I want people to look at a glance. It really shouldn't be more than 2 to 3 inches wide. That's just something you're gonna have to work on and play with in your design. But I'm gonna finish this up. My goal is to get stuff going today as far as like get stuff in the oven. I'm gonna take this down. But so after we've made this flask here, you can also make your other, it doesn't have to be on one page if that makes sense. I use this Craft and Bessie's paper, and if y'all know it's not cheap. So I want to make the most of it, so I'm not just going to print my flask. And then I'm not just going to print my tumbler. I'm gonna go tumbler, flask. Don't even. I think this was my shot glass. Then I added my baby's mask in here, and this is a bookmark from my husband. So it's really one of those things where, of course, you can do what you want to do. If you're still buying 8.5 by 11 pieces of paper, this may be no big deal to you. But me, I'm straight 13 by 19. So I like to make the most of it. That's why it's taking a little while to get everything done because I kind of care about the stuff that I make. For example, on these hearts, all this squiggly stuff, I have cleaned up. That's why I'm working on it in here. This is clean, nice, whatever. Um, and what I actually did, and I'm not gonna do that. All right, y'all. I believe I'm gonna make a note to show you guys how you can do what I'm doing for the Tumblr, which is create and design as a smart object. Anyways, guys, if you guys are new to this channel, I'm so grateful for you guys tuning in and the love that y'all have given thus far. If there's anything that you want to see, let me know. Until next time, which should be tomorrow, I'll see you then. Bye.